Jake Miller, dude, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man.
I'm so happy you're here. You're celebrating your birthday. That's why
Yes.
you're here in New York.
Yes.
What does it mean? You're celebrating that big day with your fans and your family's coming in. What does that mean to you?
Feels great. I mean, honestly, everybody that I know from growing up in Florida, they all live here now.
That's awesome.
And my sister lives here. Anytime that I'm here and my sister's here, obviously my parents are like, we'll fly in too. So I literally have everybody coming in or living here. So it's just going to be a great time. And honestly, like the New York fans have always been the most dedicated like throughout this whole journey. So I just know whenever I play in New York, it's going to be a sick show. And having my friends and family and the new label there and everybody there, it's just going to be fun.
That's so sick. And so now you mentioned the new label. What does
Yeah.
it mean? You're part of this new family, the
Yeah.
Sony Red family. What does this mean to you, and how is it different from kind of any other experience you've been in prior in this long career that you've
Yeah.
had, and this very successful career that you've had?
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. It feels a lot different, honestly. Like I've been around the industry enough to know, to have heard a lot of horror stories about record labels, and I've been with other record labels, and this fit just feels really great. And I've been independent for the last 2 years, and I was writing and producing all my own stuff, and I think it kind of caught the attention of Sony Red, and they reached out to me. They came to my last show in New York on my last tour, and I think I came into their office like the next day and just met with everybody, and it just felt so like it's like everybody's doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, but they're giving me the complete freedom to do whatever I want, to make the music, and they're kind of like, when the music's ready, send it to us, and we'll put all of our forces behind it. So
Right.
it's been amazing, man, and I love everybody who works with me at the building and at the company. They're all just great people, and everybody's just grinding together, and I think it's going to be the start of a beautiful relationship.
Yeah, well, that sounds awesome, and it really sounds like you have so much control over your music. And I think as an artist, that's like the most important thing is your image, your brand, but also
Yeah.
like the music. At the end of the day, it's like that's your artistry. That's where you
That's
want to have the
everything.
most control. That's everything, exactly. So you just this brand new single,
Yeah.
Wait For You. It's unbelievable.
Thank you so much,
And
man.
you wrote that and
Yeah.
you produced it.
Yeah, I did everything.
What? Like,
Yeah.
is there anything you can't do?
I can't play the saxophone yet.
All right, yeah.
I bought one.
Yeah.
One, and it's sitting next to my little studio setup just to inspire me to one day learn. But I have not learned. I have not conquered the saxophone yet. But yeah, I
That's
appreciate
crazy.
you saying that. I have, just been dedicating the last 3 years to just becoming the best artist and producer that I can possibly be. I've been learning from people like Jon Bellion. I'm sure you can relate. People like Lauv, Charlie Puth with his jazzy piano skills. I just kind of take bits and pieces from all my favorite artists, and I learn from them. And I do so much research. I watch so many acoustic YouTube lounges where Shawn Mendes is doing an acoustic version of a Kings of Leon song or just something like that. Like I've seen everything with all my favorite artists, just to
Right.
kind of fill my brain with all these information and just kind
Yeah.
of just learn. I want to learn everything in terms of music.
Well, why though? I mean, like, what was really that kind of like that moment where you were like, I want to know more? Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, knowledge is power, and it's like
sure.
no one can take that away from you. Once you know it, no one can take that skill away
For
from
sure.
you. So it's like, why, when you can walk into a session with any top-notch producer, why do you want to produce your own records?
Because I want to walk into a studio with all these top-notch producers and know I can hold my own, and I want to have, I want to get the respect from them that I have to them.
Right.
But I mean, I've been in thousands of sessions in the past with my old label where they would, set me up with studio sessions, and I would go to the studio not knowing who I'm working with that day or where the studio is. I would just follow the GPS, and I would get there, and it would be this $1 million studio with all these, top-notch producers and writers, and that's all cool, but it's like being in my bedroom and not having the pressure of 1 million people around me and all these people who are big wigs in the industry and writing for Beyonce and blah, 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 blah. It's like, I don't need all that, because the writer who writes for Beyonce might not write well with me.
Right.
I might not connect well with them, and we might not make a great song, because I've written with every songwriter out there. And I think the things that connect, the songs that are written that connect the most with me are the ones that nobody helps me with, because obviously that's all coming straight from my heart and my experiences, and then you can hear that and you can connect with it more, because you can tell that I connect with it more and that I mean every word of it. People like Jon Bellion, again, it's like you listen to his music and you can hear even the way that he cuts his vocals. It's like there's nobody helping him. He's
Right.
doing everything. He means every single syllable that he sings. Like you can
That's
just
very
tell. And that's what I want in my music.
Well, I think you're absolutely killing it. And
Thank you, man.
I can't explain how, like, it's like the sense of like pride, and I'm proud of you because
Thanks, bro. Yeah, we've been doing it together.
We've been
for a
doing
while.
it together for a long time now,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking this one story where I had just gotten my appendix removed, and we were on the Runaround tour together.
Okay.
And everyone thought that I was not going to come to the show. They thought I was going to cancel. We had 2 more shows left on the entire tour. And I remember rolling in my wheelchair and just seeing you and your team, and John D was there, and everyone's there, and they all look at me, and you're like, you're here? Like, what are you doing?
Dude, that's the grind.
And I wheeled myself
that.
on stage, and we did the set, and all the adrenaline kicked in. And I got up out of the wheelchair. The stitches, it was a mess. All right, but
dude,
you gotta
that's what it takes to win, bro.
That's what it is, and I can see it though with you. Is like it's all passion. Like you
sure.
love it, and you wouldn't do it if you didn't love it.
For sure.
And you can tell that you love it. So I want to ask you. So you've been on tour so many times.
I think we're about to in March. We'll probably do our 7th U.S. headlining
you've
tour.
touched every state,
We've been to every state in the country multiple times.
Come on, multiple times.
Yeah.
You've got a glow. You've got a what are those things called? Those with the snow in them.
Oh, snow globes?
Snow globe. I said
from
both
every
of those
state.
words. I just messed it up. You got a snow globe from every state, I'm sure, at this point.
Sure.
But like, what has been some of the greatest memories you got from being on tour, going to these different cities? Maybe give us like a little bit of a tour nightmare.
A tour nightmare. I'll have to think about that one. But my favorite place that I've been, or just like the memories that really stick out to me, are any memories that I made in Europe touring. We've done 2 European tours, but it's like, and I'm well aware that when we go to Europe, the shows are not the biggest shows. Like, it's nowhere close to US, but it's like, I go there because you only live once. And yeah, I might go out there with my whole team and get a tour bus, and we might lose money. But it's like, dude, that is traveling across the pond and doing all these things in Switzerland and Barcelona with my 10 best friends, and then at night getting to play music. Like, to me, that is literally the dream. Like, if I can just have bigger venues and like a bigger fan base, like that's literally my dream. Like for the rest of my life, to just tour to every country in the world, and on the off days experience the cities with my friends. Like that's it.
Right.
Or
and
with
nothing,
my wife.
Nothing
and kids.
ever bad. No ever bad story. No. The bus
of course
broke down.
Oh, that
Come
happens almost every day. I mean, with the tour bus, that's just another story.
That's a whole other story.
Tour bus stories are terrible. I get sick almost every tour, at least once, just because of the air in the tour bus, and 10 guys who maybe haven't showered in a day or two. And I actually ended up in the emergency room last tour just because I was getting so sick.
Jeez.
They told me, they told me I had a sold-out show in Minneapolis that night. They're like, you got to cancel like the next few shows. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
Can't do it.
So they put an IV in
Show
me.
must go on.
I felt great within 2 hours, and I got on stage and I killed it.
A little antibiotic never killed anybody.
Yeah.
You got this.
No problem.
So something that's really major with your fan base is I see so many different tattoos that fans get with your lyrics on it and all. Like, I mean, what does that mean? Fans are getting these permanent tattoos on their bodies because they love you so much, and your music has helped these people in such incredible ways. I mean, what does that mean to you to see a piece of art on these people forever?
No, that's insane. I mean, when people ask me in interviews like, "What's the best gift you've ever received?" I always say that, like seeing that. I'll see like 3 to 5 people at every show with my lyrics tattooed on them. So they'll come, they'll be like, "Can you write out this lyric of yours?" I'll do it in my handwriting and do a little JM signature. And then they'll take that paper and go get it tattooed just like it is on the paper, and then come back a few months later with a tattoo.
Sick.
Yeah. And it's like, I have a John Mayer lyric tattoo, and I never thought I would get a lyric tattoo, but this song has helped me and just kind of changed my life and the perspective that I look at life, and cherishing being young and my family. This song is like awesome. And so to think that like other people can listen to a song of mine and feel the way that I feel about this song is like, that's crazy. Like, that's what music is. That's what it's for. So I feel really blessed. Yeah.
That's amazing. So Jake, you've got so much happening right now.
Yeah.
You got the new song. It's coming out. You've got the show, New York. You're here. It's your birthday. It's a new year, new you.
Feels great.
New sound, new everything. There's
Yeah,
a lot of new stuff going on. So what's coming up in the future? What can fans kind of get really, really pumped for? Is there a tour coming? Is there an album, an EP?
There'll be an EP. There'll be
All
an
right.
EP coming around March-ish,
Ooh.
along with a tour announcement.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I've been making the best music of my life, and as I mentioned, like I'm just practicing every day, becoming a better producer and a better writer. And this next batch of songs are just like, they're different. They're just like different than anything I've ever put out, and more importantly, I think they're different than anything that's out right now on the radio. So I'm really excited just to kind of show everybody the new chapter of me. I'm excited that Sony believes in me and these new songs enough to really get behind me, and I'm just really excited, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
we are so excited for you.
Thank
and
you so
me
much.
personally, I'm over the moon.
Thanks,
I'm so
man.
happy for you. I'm so
Aw,
happy we're
man.
talking, and we got to talk
My
off camera
brother.
now. But I'm so happy you're here, and best of
Happy
luck.
to be here, bro. You
You're the
too.
man.
Absolutely.
Give me a ticket for an airplane. I ain't got time to take no fast train. Oh, lonely days are gone. I'm coming home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Well, I don't care how much money I gotta spend. Just gotta see my baby again. Oh, lonely days are gone. I'm coming home. My baby, she wrote me a letter. Well, she wrote me a letter. Said she couldn't live without me no more. Listen to me, mister. Don't you see my baby? She's hanging by the door. Oh, anyway, but I don't care how much money I gotta spend. Just wanna see my baby home again. Oh, lonely days are gone. I'm coming home. Oh, my baby wrote me a letter. Well, she wrote me a letter, but said she couldn't live without me no more. Listen to me, mister. Don't you see my baby? She's hanging by the door. Oh, anyway, but I don't care how much money I gotta spend. I just wanna see my baby home again. Oh, the lonely days are gone. I'm coming home. Hey, my baby wrote me a letter. Hey, woo. Ah. Woo. Hey.
All right, so Arnold, welcome to the show, Max.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Bro, I'm so happy you're here. Like,
Delighted,
this
man.
is, dude, it's so cool to have you.
Yeah,
I think
man.
back, we met in 2017 at BLI Summer Jam.
That's where we
And I
met.
just see this, like, beautiful glittered man just walking around the place, and I'm like, I need to be friends with him. Dude, it's just so good to see you, man.
It's great to
so
see
what
you.
have you been up to?
Oh man, we just got back from Japan, which was very cute. Lots of tiny, shiny people like myself, which was wonderful. Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, we were just talking. It's amazing how where the music can travel, and when you
Yeah.
meet somebody, even if it's just one person in a different place in the world that cares about the thing you're putting out there, it's so
man.
special. So. It's been that, and then obviously just repping our Still New York song, which you
Yeah,
made the
bro.
beautiful cameo in that video, and just really making sure that it, we've been doing, like, I'm doing a version of The Subway next week with some homies, and
That's
we
awesome.
got a version coming out on ESPN on the 11th to commemorate all of the people who served on 9/11, and we have some amazing. So just putting all the pieces together with it, just to make it really be real to
That's
what's
beautiful.
beautiful up in New York. Thanks, man.
So how did that go about, like, in writing Still New York? Were you in New York when you wrote it? Were you in
I wasn't.
California? Where were you?
So my friend Sam, who I've written a bunch of stuff with on a couple records, he came up with the Still New York thing. He sent me this little demo idea of I'm Still New York. He was like, man, we got to do this. Like he lives in LA, he's from New York. And he was like, man, because I'm always on the road. I'm hardly in the place that I rep so hard,
Yeah, bro.
And obviously that's what the song's about, giving love to your roots. And And so we wrote it in LA, which I actually I'm kind of happy about, because again, it gives you this longing. It's this feeling of, so I wrote it there with him, and it took about a year to from the inception of the beginning of it all to the completion, and it was
good things take time.
It takes time, man. We redid the verses a bunch and all these different things, and then I asked Joey Badass to be a part of it, and he's just exactly what represents New York in such a real way too, and it's been beautiful. All the money is going to charities that affected me, New York City Arts Public Schools and animal shelters in New York. So I just wanted to mean something to this place that we love so much.
That's man, dude, that's amazing. I think about it, and I was saying this to you off camera, but like, as a singer, you're so authentic, so real, and like, you really are so like compelling. It's like, damn, dude, like you really are amazing. And then as a performer, you can see it in your eyes. You can see it right now. Like, you're just so passionate about that, and I love that. I love that, man. Like, it's amazing, and I love what you're wearing. Like,
thanks, baby.
Are we making sure we're getting that right there?
Oh, baby, shiny, let's go.
Do you go thrift shopping?
Yeah, no. These
You
are
have to.
a lot of times it's either my wife does all the styling, so we
Nice.
either find random things,
Awesome.
or I steal it from my mom's closet or her closet.
Okay, cool.
Or she thinks she's buying something for her, but then it fits
Right.
me, and then I wear it.
I love thrift
Vice
shopping.
versa,
I
yeah.
love going, and you basically take it right out of the coffin.
Thrifting is the best.
Yeah,
It really, you find little one-of-a-kind pieces, and that's
You
special.
do.
It takes a
Like,
little more searching, but
Some old lady was wearing it 25 years ago, and
exactly.
now it's yours.
Dude, I'm sure some old lady was wearing this years ago.
She
And I'm
must have, and she
get-
probably rocked it, but not as well as you're rocking it.
Thank
I have
you,
to
man. I
say,
appreciate it.
Pretty impressed.
But same to you, man. You're so passionate. You care
Thank
so
you,
much
man.
about what you do, and you gotta die for what you're doing, man. You gotta love it so much, and it just goes to show what it takes.
Well, because
to really
I
love
think
it.
we're in like the hardest industry ever.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like it's probably easier to be a doctor, and it's no disrespect to doctors, but it's
Sure.
like, you know what you're doing. If you're doing it good or if you're doing it wrong. In the music industry, you can do everything right,
And
see no
it-
results.
totally.
You can do everything wrong and see all the results.
Hey, that's a very interesting point, man. You're right. It's so important to just really be obsessed and passionate about what you're doing. And
Yeah.
I always say, if you're willing to live in a van for whatever it is, even if you are a doctor and it's
Right.
you got to pay for med school or whatever
It's true.
else, if it means that much to you, you'll be willing to do that, and it won't be about the money ever. And you'll make money and you'll survive and whatever. But when
And
it's
get
that
those cool
passionate,
glasses.
yeah, amen, baby,
Damn,
exactly,
dude.
all of it.
So what's next? What's next?
What's
for Max?
next? I got an album that Still New York is on. It's called House of Divine. We're hitting the road doing November 13th, Irving Plaza, New York here, which will be very cute.
Nice.
It's a
Anything
hometown
special?
show.
Anything special
Oh,
for
it's
hometown
gonna be
show?
wild.
Yeah.
Everything, baby.
Confetti,
There's
fire.
literally
Come on.
so many special things. I've been, especially with this song, I've been able to collaborate with some really interesting groups for different versions of it. So I think it's going to be probably the most special show on tour.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I've got the whole album coming out. I got a video coming at the end of the month for one of the new songs with I'm a big fan of Crystal. She's the monkey from The Hangover, so I was very honored to work with her on this new video. It's just us, and she's the Meryl Streep of monkeys. So
Oh my
it was such a
goodness.
pleasure, and
She's probably really hot.
she's honestly, Emily was jealous. It was a tough day, but yeah, no, I'm finishing up the album, going on tour for it, and that's really my whole life. And then my other project, Party Peoples, we're putting out music too, and
Yeah.
that's really it. That, taking care of my wife and my dog and my fam, and hanging with the homies and making music. That's really it.
That's so awesome.
Thanks,
And you're so young, so awesome, and married.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
I mean, we should make note of that. This guy he's
Yeah.
married off the market.
Indeed. You
Really
good,
sorry
baby? You
for
good?
it, Dude, that's amazing.
it's-
So the Lights Down Low, I mean,
Yeah.
that was a song that you had written for the proposal.
I did. Yes, indeed.
How did
You
it
got
go?
It worked.
I mean,
she
she-
said
I mean,
yes,
she said
luckily,
yes,
which
right?
was great. And
That's a
and
relief.
It was relief, right? It was really special, man. It's still special that we always, before we perform that song, we always say that it stands for love, whether you're gay, straight, bisexual, transgender, every time, every day. And at a certain point, when you make those speeches, you start to get to a point where you're like, oh man, I'm saying the same thing every night. I want it to be real, but this is important. We want this message to be out there, because not in every place you're not always met with applause. In some places, people don't think the same way, and that's okay. But I think the most beautiful was recently, because of that, a lot of people have been proposing to their significant others with the song and whatever else. And we were down in Alabama for a festival, and I said that speech before the song, as always, and it was a weird reaction, which happens. Weird reaction. I was like, oh man, that sucks. Middle of the show, this beautiful woman gets down on one knee and proposes to her girlfriend.
Wow.
And they come up on stage, and it really reminded me how important it is, whether people love your message or not, how important it is to just keep putting it out there. And so the fact that it went from our wedding song to being something for other people is
Right.
that's the most important thing with music.
That is beautiful. Well, I saw you on Good Morning America.
Oh yeah,
I
that
saw
was
you
super
doing
cute,
your
man.
thing over there. Yeah,
That was fun. That couple had no idea who I was, who I married, and then actually the husband just reached out. He's like, "Yo, we're coming to your show in Columbus." I
Oh,
was like,
that's
"Yo, that's so
awesome.
tight." Because before the thing, they saw what I was wearing, and they were like, "This dude was he singing for our wedding? This is our wedding right now." So it's kind of tight that they were like, "Yo, what's up? Now we're fans."
that's crazy. And it was a real wedding. Like,
It was a real wedding. They actually got
They are
married. They got married on TV, did their thing. I was delighted to be a part of it. I loved that they didn't know.
Yeah.
It was so much cooler that they were like, "Who's this guy? Oh, I know this song, I guess."
I gotta rewatch it. I gotta really look at their faces.
Oh my god, it's so good. But they're so awesome. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see them in Columbus and just be like, "What's up, guys? Remember that time we did your marriage?"
You got to bring them up on
I
stage.
for sure will.
Come on,
That's
man.
always the most fun to bring
Yeah.
them up on stage.
Dude, that is so awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
being
brother.
here, bro. You
I'm
are amazing.
Delighted. You're awesome, brother.
Still
Thank you
New
for
York.
everything.
We're gonna be playing
Still
it.
New York, baby. Let's
You know
go.
what? I'm rooting for you.
Slay.